Hi guys, so I'm going to read The Man from U.N.C.L.E. number 1. So this was published in May of 1965. So I haven't watched the Man from U.N.C.L.E. show, but I watched some clips of the actors talking and that. So I'll see how good I do with I was practicing the impressions. So I hope the voices sound good in this one. But The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Robert Vaughn, right there. Spies, guns, intrigue. United Network Command for Law and Enforcement is what U.N.C.L.E. stands for. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. The Explosive Affair. All work and no play makes even a man from U.N.C.L.E. a dull boy. And knowing that his life depends on sharpness, Napoleon Solo accepted the blonde's invitation to go water skiing. Now, saloming behind her boat, as it streaks down Long Island Sound, Solo feels the exhilaration of a daring challenge, for his safety depends on his every move. She's really putting me to the test. The way she's jockeying that speedboat. I'm going to have a hard time missing the boy. An innocent-looking boy bobs on the surface, but hardly visible to the oncoming pair are tiny contact prongs, set to trigger an explosion. She is being cute. No matter how much I turn, she's swinging the boat enough to send me right at that boy. Then suddenly, the blonde at the wheel stares ahead in terror.
Driftwood! If I hit it at this speed, I'll be wrecked!
A fast tug on the wheel, and the racing craft cleaves a sharp turn. Then, the boat slams the boy that erupts with explosive fury. And Napoleon Solo is tossed off balance by the blast. At that exact moment, in the New York headquarters of United Network Command for Law and Enforcement, Solo's superior gives an urgent order.
I want a fast boat sent to find Solo. Intelligence reports there may be an attempt on his life.
Alexander Waverly hardly replaces the phone before Uncle's special hydrofoil boils up the sound.
Daphne! I guess she's out cold. We're in luck. There's a boat. Maybe we can get her to a hospital in time.
Sorry we're late. Waverly said there might be an attempt on your life.
No, just a crazy boat accident.
Swiftly, the hydrofoil races down the sound, rising on its pontoons. Then, as it tools along the East River, it suddenly swings deliberately for the shore. As the boat nears the seemingly blank wall, an electronic panel lights up on the bridge.
For a moment, it looked like we might have another accident.
Die up fast and get a doctor down here.
I just hope we have brought her some here in time. Yesterday at this time, we were strangers meeting at a clam bake. Today,
electronically activated guard panels slide aside as Napoleon Solo enters the massive secret headquarters of U.N.C.L.E.
Our technicians just completed their report, Solo. The boy you struck was an anti-personnel mine.
A mine? In the middle of Long Island Sound?
The perfect place for it, wouldn't you say, if it were to have a slight accident while skiing.
Are you saying that Daphne
might very well work for our dedicated enemy, Thrush? Yes, I state that because a wiretap on one Thrush relay post clued us in on an attempt against your life.
No, I refuse to believe that. We met quite by accident.
And almost had another accident. Let's go to the operating room.
Uncle's skilled specialists work swiftly and deftly, but as they fight a hopeless battle,
The boy must make Solo hit the mine. Must.
then there was a sigh followed by silence.
I'm sorry, sir. We tried all we could.
There, Solo. But for the grace of a piece of driftwood went for you.
And as they start out of the hospital, a top priority messenger stops them.
From an Interpol agent named Finch in London. Marked urgent. I haven't seen Tubby Finch in a year. Why should he suddenly be signaling me? He says he is working on a vital investigation. It seems to keep running up against some mysterious organization.
That organization could be Thrush. Solo, you'll have a seat on the evening flight for London, and a chance to strike against Thrush.
Hours later, as a transatlantic jet banks over London,
first an attempt on my life, and now a call to help fight Thrush. I wonder if there is a connection.
taxing to his friend's flat, Solo takes the self-service elevator and heads for Finch's door.
Open. That's odd. Especially for someone who knows as much about crime as an Interpol agent like Tubby! No pulse. Not a sign of life. No marks on the body. How did he die?
Gazing at the victim in the strange circle of unfamiliar feathers, Solo spots the death weapon.
A poison dart. And if I remember my anthropology, it's African.
Then, Solo opens the dead victim's clenched fist. A coin drops to the floor.
A gold sovereign, clutched in his hand. He seems to be pointing with his other hand.
With a sense of chilling foreboding, Napoleon Solo follows the stiff, pointing figures.
A charming group. Tubby was trying to tell me something. But what?
Later, Solo checks with Scotland Yard.
Sorry, old chap. Not a break yet. Bad show. But oh, yes. Those statues. They're from Mawzi, colony on the west coast of Africa. Bit of the old empire, you know, that we made independent 3 months ago.
Puzzled, Solo pursues another clue.
Yes, that's just like the coin I saw. A 1902 gold sovereign. Is it very valuable? Well, not especially, though it is worth about $17 in your currency. They are out of circulation in England, aren't they?
For quite a while, sir. But you see, the gold content of these old coins is worth $9, so they are still considered more valuable than non-gold coins, especially in those new African countries.
Then sovereigns are used in Africa. Say in Mawzi?
As a matter of fact, the Bank of England is preparing a shipment of sovereigns to Mawzi. It's a loan, but they insisted on having the old coins. The bush natives jolly well won't trust anything else.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You'd be most helpful. Then let me be helpful too. Climb in and I'll give you a lift. Ilya, how did... Mr. Waverly told me to locate you. Your directional locator? No, how can I help?
Quickly, Solo briefs his assistant, Ilya Koryakin.
pull up to that travel agency. Are we going somewhere? Yes. I'm running down a hunch. The murder weapon was from Mawzi. The statues Tubby pointed to were from Mawzi. The witch doctor's feathers were from a bird found only in Mawzi. Then I won't bother asking you where we are going.
The next day, 2 agents from Section 2 of U.N.C.L.E step out into the stifling heat of the African sun.
Are the natives friendly? I brought along my automatic pistol, just in case they aren't.
Sorry to trouble you, chaps, but we are looking for arms smugglers.
I'm afraid you'll only find dirty socks.
Go through. Can't be too careful. Seems some rebel group of natives terrorising the country since we gave Mawzi her independence. We're looking for the chaps who backed the blighters.
Are the rebels communist? Don't seem to have any political school ties, except, of course, with their witch doctor leaders. Well, just don't run into any of the rebel magmags.
Soon,
at least the room seems charming.
Lion Claw! That sign! Mag witch doctors use! Sign of death!
He didn't even wait for his tip. Ilya, someone knew we were coming. And as they say in kids' games, we must be getting warm.
That night, the jungle silence is broken as native drums boom from the dark surrounding hills.
Run! Hide! Magmags come!
The lights, they're dimming. The witch doctors are using some startlingly modern ideas.
As the drum beats increase to a furious tempo, another sound bursts above the drums. The sound of breaking glass on the blacked-out streets. Boom, 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 boom. Then, there's a pounding, menacing tattoo of fists against their locked door.
Our door won't stand up long against that. Then, why not open it for them? Looks like we have company. Now Uncle's karate training course can pay off. Work fast.
In the candlelit room, 3 savage lion skin-draped figures rush at 2 lone men. But the 2 strike back with skilled power.
1 down,
2 to go.
a clean sweep. Now sweep them into the hall. Think they'll come back with friends? I hear shooting on the street. The local police must finally be in action. That should get rid of them. Let's barricade the door just for luck. But one thing is interesting. They picked only our room to break into. As you said, someone seems to know we are here. Ah, the street lights are on again. Now to see if we can turn some light on what's been behind Tubby's death and the Mag jazz over there.
But all inquiries the next morning draw blanks. Exhausted by the noonday heat, they lie down to rest. Soon, all is quiet in the stifling room. As if respecting their need for quiet, an intruder moves noiselessly toward the sleeping figures. While outside the door, an interested observer momentarily releases his grip on a key ring. Clink. The next noise stirs Solo from his light sleep and alerts him to his danger.
If I move my leg, he'll be on it before I can do a thing.
With infinite care, his hand stealthily draws his automatic pistol.
Hunting?
Small game hunting. Small, but deadly. First, a lion's claw. Then 3 magmags. Now this. Our room seems remarkably available for trouble. And I'm beginning to suspect the man with the key. The porter. Ring for him. Minutes later. Terribly sorry, but I dropped it. Could you sweep it up before someone gets hurt?
Right away.
Thanks very much. I'd like to walk around barefoot, but I have tender soles.
As Solo withdraws his hand from the porter's back, the friendly gesture accomplishes its purpose. A tiny radio beacon flashes out, an ultra-high frequency signal. That night, as the porter goes off duty, he leaves an easy trail to follow.
If my hunch is right, and the porter has been trying to check us out of the hotel permanently, he may lead us to whoever put him up to this deadly little game. For a seemingly civilized native, he certainly lives deep in the jungle. Keep on the beam.
Do you?
Yes, a campfire. But I don't think it's a Boy Scout meeting.
No, it's a much different kind of meeting. Magmags.
Unless I miss my guess, our porter is being paid off in gold sovereigns.
They seem to pay for failure.
Maybe. It's an incentive bonus, so he won't fail next time.
He must be blessing him with that clicking gadget.
Listen, don't you recognize the sound? I'd swear under that lion skin wrapping. There's a Geiger counter.
Then, the witch doctor thrusts a wand into the fire. Suddenly, the flame flares brightly.
They see us!
The sick jungle will slow us down.
It won't slow down their spears. Come on!
As the brambles almost halt them, Solo whips out his gas pen.
That should stop them long enough for us to find the trail out of here. Here's the trail. The gas didn't knock them all out. Keep running.
And when we get to the hotel,
we check out. I've learned all I can in Mawzi. The rest of the jigsaw puzzle's pieces can be picked up in London.
2 days later, Solo calls on a geologist in London.
Yes, old boy, the map's most helpful, but it is difficult to do prospecting by map.
But would you say that the nature of the mineral deposits and known rock structure of the Mawzi indicate a uranium load?
Well, anything's possible, isn't it? But I would say that from a speculative point of view, Mawzi is a good bet for uranium. The facts are on your side, but facts can disappoint, you know.
Well, there could be a chance of locating uranium in Mawzi, and that would certainly interest Thrush enough to make them support the rebels, so they could take over the country.
Well, Thrush will have to fight the British. That freighter is being loaded with gold sovereigns from Mawzi. That should stabilize things.
What worries me is that if Uncle knows of this shipment, Thrush probably does too.
Any immediate plans?
Only social. There's to be a NATO fleet review at Southampton, and I've been invited to watch it from the carrier flagship.
But what about this Mawzi business?
Part of the British units of the fleet are being sent to Mawzi after the review to show the flag. I want to see what I can pick up from the Navy types on board.
Next day, as the invited guests are sped to the carrier,
My hat!
I have it.
Oh, thank you. I just bought it for this trip. How dreadful to have lost it before even stepping on board. I'm Melanie Sims.
There's a lot of wind out here, Melanie. Maybe I better stick close to you in case your hat is launched from the carrier.
Splendid. My magazine editor couldn't come, and I do need an escort. Otherwise I'd feel overwhelmed among hundreds of sailors.
Welcome aboard. The party is escorted on an official tour.
No, you know, Napoleon, I'd much rather poke about on my own, with you.
Then let's duck down here.
Oh, could you find the engine room? I don't know why, but all those gadgets fascinate me. I'd love to see what it looks like.
This way, if no one stops us.
Engine room's below, but you.
We lost the official party. They said they were going down here. We'll find our way. Don't trouble yourself.
Reaching the engine room, Solo is pleasantly surprised as Melanie Sims tugs him into a small control room.
Just a second. I want to put on some lipstick.
Aren't you changing your shade?
How very observant. I did change colours. I thought you would look better in this one, dear.
And they kiss, and then he's knocked down. Solo is knocked down.
And when Solo awakens hours later, a gag half chokes him, and tight bonds hold his hands and feet securely. Then he glances around.
I'm in the bilge, and it's filling. The ship must be underway. But what happened? The last thing I recall, Melanie was kissing me. Then I blacked out. And I thought I was beyond that stage of life. Of course, the lipstick she put on before we kissed. It contained some knockout drug. Her original lipstick protected her. The water keeps rising. Kissing on the first date could be fatal. Even if I get on my feet, the water could rise above me. Well, Waverly had Uncle's technical staff prepare for this eventuality too.
Straining, Solo rubs his heels together, 2 small projections from each heel mesh, and a sharp blade flicks out of one of them. Twisting underwater, he desperately glides the razor-like blade against the rope. But freed of his bonds, Napoleon Solo is still a doomed prisoner.
No! I can't budge the hatch! It's locked from above!
After pounding for 10 minutes on the hatch cover, Solo finally finds help.
I wasn't hearing things. No! Help me out of here! Of all the ruddy things. How'd you get down there, mate? All civilian types were supposed to have gone ashore an hour ago, just before we weighed anchor for the review. There isn't time for explanations. What part of the ship are we in? Part of the engine room. The section that houses the ship's degassing controls. Of course. Without the degassing coils, the ship could activate a magnetic mine, and Thrush used mines before. So check your controls. Don't know what you're talking about, mate, but I'll check. Papa is swinging into the minus field. In this latitude, that means the coil isn't working. Correct it, if there's still time. But who would tinker? A charming lady, as adept with electronic controls as she is with lipstick. Now to warn the bridge. Here now. Can't go barging in on the flagship. Let me tell the Admiral to watch out for a magnetic mine, or there may be no flagship.
Even as Solo shouts his warning, the bow watch signals the bridge.
Mine dead ahead!
Philistine! Philistine, sir!
but the giant carrier's momentum cannot be stopped in time. As the explosive force trembles the length of the great ship, all hands are pitched off balance. The carrier pulses on, a gaping hole torn in her bow. The aviation fuel spews into the sea and ignites with a roar.
Fire control! Look steady enough! Your warning may have minimized the disaster, sir.
What I can't quite fathom is why Thrush wanted to blow up a carrier. How could they profit from a disaster like this?
As fireboats race out to the fleet, Solo's eyes scan the Holocaust, looking for an answer.
That's it. That freighter's the one bound for Mawzi. That must be Thrush's objective. This is all a giant diversion. Sir, signal that freighter to be on guard for an attack.
Attack! Under the very protective nose of Her Majesty's fleet. Don't be ridiculous, sir.
Even as Solo's request is rejected, a fireboat nears the freighter, spraying the burning oil drifting nearby. But the seemingly harmless spray has a swift paralyzing effect. Coming alongside, gas-masked men swarm up the ladder and quickly overpower the freighter's crew.
Admiral, my warning about the mine wasn't foolish.
Very well, but you can see the fireboat is alongside, checking to see if it can help. To the freighter! Are you all right?
Aye, aye, sir.
Quickly, an answering signal flashes back.
We are all right. Fireboat checking. All proceeding on course. I assume that quiets your fears. And now, if you'll permit me, I have work to do.
Later, at his hotel,
I am sorry, but we have no lead on Melanie Sims. She seems to have vanished. The pieces still don't fit. Why would Thrush blast the carrier? They work for profit or power, but wrecking that ship didn't get them either. I'll leave you with some quiet music to soothe your nerves. Thanks, but I prefer some answers to disquieting questions.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin. The freighter Dorian was found abandoned at sea. Her crew was unconscious. She was carrying a cargo of several millions in gold sovereigns.
moving quickly, the man from U.N.C.L.E. investigates the ghost ship.
She's in tow.
Put her down so I can look around.
The company said someone was coming. Maybe you can figure out what happened to the poor blokes who sailed her.
Do you smell something faint but distinctive? Sleep gas. Now it makes sense. That fireboat wasn't spraying water, but gas.
We've already checked the holds. The ghost shipment has completely vanished.
Thrush must have created the diversion, then gassed the crew. After that, their agents took over and transferred the coins, which will finance the Mag-Mags. Britain's gift will work against her in Mawzi.
Once ashore, Solo hurries to the Admiralty.
Sorry, old boy, but no other ship was anywhere near the Dorian. And your fireboat theory won't work. She's too small for a cargo like that.
But the gold wasn't tossed into the sea. Wait a minute. That's precisely where it is. It was probably transferred to a sub. The next move's up to the British Foreign Office. To keep their gold coins from being used,
to support the rebels' takeover in Mawzi and put Thrush in control.
Look at this. It was in the car where I picked it up.
I'm too tired to let some witch doctor's warning worry me, Ilya. Drive me to the hotel. Later, as Ilya parks in the hotel's lot, 3 watchful figures advance menacingly.
Solo! Behind! Quickly! The flash ray!
Swiftly, Ilya's fingers streak for a control knob. Then, as he and Solo cover their eyes, there is a blinding flash.
Now! Well, they can't see! They're ours, and they could lead us to Thrush's headquarters here.
Including Melanie Sims, whom I want to kiss goodbye on her way to jail. After Thrush's London cell is rounded up, Solo returns to Uncle's New York headquarters. A gold sovereign. Where did you get it?
From the bottom of the Bay of Mawzi.
Then Thrush didn't pull off this caper.
Almost, but not quite. After you passed on that information that the coins had been transferred to a sub, the British Admiralty calculated the time required for its arrival at Mawzi. A Navy seaplane took off. It had no trouble in locating the sub. Then the plane dropped a mine, and as the sub surfaced, the mine was waiting for it. The sub was wrecked. The coins were salvaged and passed on to the Mawzi government. Oh, incidentally, Solo, they used the same type World War II mine that Thrush had used when they had hoped to get rid of you.
And that's the end of this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. If you have any requests you want me to do, just let me know in the comments. And I'll tell you when I can do the request. Most requests will probably not be done until January or February. Any new ones I get like anything before I went on my break it'll probably come out pretty soon. But anything like after will probably be like January or February. It'll come out. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.